So let's talk about your intake form. This is an important part of the process where you're going to gather as much information as you can, or as much pertinent information as you can, prior to sitting down and speaking with this client of yours. So I have my intake form that I use with my own clients. We're going to kind of go through it, and I break it into certain sections. So I have profile, which is who they are, like what do they do, family, all these, somewhat personal but nothing too deep questions, just to get an idea of this person. I have goals, so wanting to know exactly why are they coming to us, what are they wanting to achieve. This is something that's going to be important. Their training history and background, lifestyle and health. So this is pretty encompassing. This has all aspects of sleep, nourishment, medications, sickness, digestion, menstrual cycle for females, a lot of more particular questions. So those are our big categories where we have a lot of questions inside of those. So if we look at the intake form that I have here on my screen, as you can see, current occupation, current work schedule, family situation, long-term goals and why, short-term goals and why, experiences with training, experiences playing sports. Have you worked with a coach before? That's a really important question, especially if they've worked with a remote coach before. Because as we spoke about in the introduction and in the first video, remote coaching and working with a remote coach is very different than being in person. There is an element of distance and separation, and it's important to get an idea if somebody has experienced that before or has an idea of what to expect, so that it makes for a seamless transition from conversation into practice and going through the flow of working with somebody. If they don't, then that's going to take a little bit more time and conversation to help give them a very clear understanding of what to anticipate, so that they still feel supported, but not to the point where you feel like you're overstretching yourself to get this person to be engaged and enjoy this process. So asking about previous coaching experience is a very important question. It can give you a lot of insights. Recent method of training. So this is also important because we want to get an idea of what people have been doing to better understand what they're currently capable of, because then that's going to give us a platform for where we need to move forward, given this goal that we're going to be going after from our conversations. How much training are they really doing right now? Past or current medical issues. This is also important. We want to know if there are any particular pieces that could play a role in the training process and something we need to be mindful of. And then now we're getting into health and lifestyle around your sleep and asking for some subjective feedback on their sleep. And then that can also ties into the next question around how many hours are they getting per night? When do you fall asleep? Do you wake up in the night? So there's some depth of questions here because we want to really understand their awareness around sleep, and if there are pieces that we need to further investigate or provide some knowledge for them to absorb and start to implement to help upgrade their sleep, because we know how important sleep is. Sickness, energy levels, stress levels, gas or bloating issues, bowel movements per day, menstrual cycle, supplements, medications, allergies to food. So we're trying to get like this really comprehensive understanding of who this person is. And one thing I would say, because you'll have access to this in the notes and something you can use if you like, but always remember that you don't want to use something that you don't really use. Like even with a movement screen, if there are certain things on the screen that you don't really use or don't know how it impacts your decision-making process, then don't even use it. It doesn't play a role. And same with the intake form. If there are questions on there that aren't really going to impact your decision-making process for the client, then just get rid of those questions. Only put things on there that you feel as a coach are very important for your understanding of this person, to create the blueprint for who they are in your mind's eye and how you want to help guide them on their journey. So this is, I would say, a fairly comprehensive intake form. And I think taking the time to think about what you want it to look like and having some good attention to detail with how you lay it out. Maybe you have your banner icon in the top hand corner. Maybe it's a PDF format. The font and the spelling is nice and tight and professional looking. I'd go the extra mile here to set the tone from the beginning, because ideally they're going to be filling this out before they speak with you, because you're going to want this before you have your initial call, because you're going to pull from it pieces you want to dive a little deeper into. So this is one of the first touch points they're going to get from you as a representation of you and your business, and the attention to detail and professionalism you're going to bring to this relationship and the service you provide. So take some time with your intake form, pick questions that you feel are pertinent and helpful for you, and go the extra distance in making it look professional to really give that strong presence from the start.